What's up, guys? Today we'll be doing lesson 8.2, and that is properties of parallelograms. Alright, so there's 4 rules you need to know. After those 4 rules, it's pretty much easy smeezy. The first one is that opposite sides are congruent. So, let's see. Let's say that's A, B, C, and D. AB is equal to CD. They're congruent. AC congruent to BD. AB congruent to CD, and AC congruent to BD, and vice versa. You can make this be BA and DC and CA and DB, same thing. So if this is 10 meters, this is 10 meters, for example. And if this were, I don't know, 24 meters, this is 24 meters. Alright, number 2. Opposite angles are congruent. So A, B, C, and D. Angle A is congruent to angle D. Angle A congruent to angle D. And angle D is congruent to angle A, vice versa. And angle C is congruent to angle B. In other words, if angle A is 40 degrees, so is angle D. If angle C is 140, then B is 140. The third rule is that, let me label A, B, C, and D. The third rule is that consecutive angles are supplementary. You're like, what? I know, hold on. If that's X, this one's X, because remember, they're equal, they're opposite. If that's Y, that's Y. Well, X plus Y is supplementary, 180 degrees. And the cool thing is, if I just give you the angle right here, let's say I call this 110, I expect you to figure out the rest of the angles easy smeezy. That's 110, this is 110. And these angles here have to equal 180, so 110 plus what is 180? 180 minus 110, 70. And this is 70, because 110 plus 70 is 180 degrees. For the fourth one, we need a new picture. Same parallelogram, except now I have diagonals. Diagonals go from angle to angle, or opposite angles actually. They go from angle to opposite angle. So let me label real quick. A, B, C, and D. You have diagonals here. The thing about diagonals is they intersect here in the middle. They make a point. I'm going to write that down because I need it. And we'll call that point, I don't know, M. Because it's in the middle. I don't know, it's an ugly M, but it's an M, like mama. Alright. Well, the cool thing about diagonals in a parallelogram is that they bisect. Bisect is cut in half. Remember that. Cut in half means equal. So, AM equals MD. And that equals, they're congruent, same thing. And CM is congruent to BM. CM congruent to BM. So in other words, if AM is 4, then MD is 4. If CM is 7, then MB is 7. Which means How much is CB? How much is BC? All of this. Well, it's 7 plus 7. So BC is 14. How much is it from A to D? It's 4 plus 4, and that's 8. It works vice versa also. If I told you, just to start with, AD is 8, and I told you to find MD, it's half. It's 4 and 4. Same thing over here. If I told you CD is 14, CB. If CB is 14, how much is MB? Well, it's 7 because it's half. Alright, let's start with some examples. We'll start pathetically easy first. Example 1. Oh, that's disgusting. Even for me, that's disgusting. Alright, example 1. Let's say find, I don't know, angle M. Well, remember, K and M are opposite angles, so they're equal. So that's also 96. Alright, so this is 96. And let's say I ask you to find angle J. Well, angle J is on this side, and it's not opposite, so it's not equal. They are supplementary, so it's 180 minus 96, which is 84 degrees. So that's 84 and that's 84. Alright, let's move on to example 2. And let's find x and y. Well, first I'm going to go on the outside. You see how 16's on the top? 3x plus 4 is on the bottom. We're not inside though, we're on the outside. 16's on top, 3x plus 4 is on the bottom. Remember, they are equal. The top and bottom are equal to each other. So to find x, it's just going to be 16 is equal to 3x plus 4. Do some algebra, subtract the 4. 3x is equal to 12. Divide by 3, and x is 4. Now the y. These are opposite, they're opposite sides. Since they're on opposite sides, they are equal. Remember, if the 56 was right here, then you can't put equal. You'd have to add them and put equal and 80. But since these are on opposite sides, we can say they are equal. So y minus 60 is equal to 56. Add the 60. (116 degrees). Or x is 116. There you go. Now let's go to example 3. Using this picture right here. So we need to find what j is and what k is. Remember, these are diagonals, and diagonals are equal to each other. So 3j's on this diagonal, which means that these are equal. So 3j is equal to 5j minus 9. Usually we subtract the smaller x or j, but in this case it's going to be easier to move the 5. 3 minus 5 is negative 2, equals to negative 9 divided by negative 2. A negative over negative makes a positive. Yes, you do get j equals 9 over 2, which is a fraction. Don't freak out. You can have fractions. You don't like fractions, it's 4.5. K. K is right here on this diagonal. You follow it, and it's right here, the next part. They're on the same diagonal, which means they are equal. So k plus 10 is equal to 6k. There's a 1 there, if you need to put it there. Subtract the 1k. 10 is equal to 6 minus 1 is 5. Divide by 5. And k is 2. Alright, so example 3. I changed the number that was here because I copied this question from some of you all's work. Only some of you are going to see this question, but all of you may see it on a test, so still write it down. In parallelogram WXYZ, angle W is 40 degrees more than the angle X. Sketch the parallelogram, find the measure of each interior angle inside, then label each angle with this measure. You gotta draw it. Boom, drew it. Now label. W, X, Y, Z. So let's get started on solving it. Now, it may look confusing, but it's not. Alright, so W is 40 more than X. So W is 40 more than whatever X is. I don't know what X is, there's nothing here. So I'm gonna put X. So I'm gonna put, this is 40 more than that number. That number happens to be X at the moment, so okay, cool. And these are not on opposite sides, they are corresponding. And when they correspond, they equal to 180 when you add them. So 40 plus X equals 180. This is 40. X plus X is 2X. Subtract the 40. 2X equals 140. Divided by 2. And X is 70. So this is 70. If that's 70, this is 40 more than 70, which is 110. X and Y are opposite sides. Opposite sides, which means they are equal. So this is 70. Opposite sides, they are equal, which means that Z is 110 also. Easy smeezy. Alright, and example 4. This question is nice. Well, I want to find everything, every single angle on here. And you're like, where do I start? I mean, I want to find that one, and this one, and that one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and that one, and then that one. Ooh, that's a lot. Nah, not really. Let's figure out how to do it. Well, what I would do first is that's 117, that's 117. Remember, vertical angles still works. That's 117. And then if you look right here, this is a triangle. How many degrees in a triangle? 180. So I'm going to add 117 to 23, subtract that from 180, and it gives me 40. So this is 180, good. Then we'll come back right here. These two angles, this one and this one, have to be aligned. They equal 180. So 180 minus 117 is 63. And this is 63. And then I can add for this triangle right here. 80 plus 63, subtract that from 180 and get 37. Now, time to teach a cool trick. If this is 40, you want to think that this angle right here is 40, but it's not. This one's 40. Why? Because they're alternate interior angles. So if this one's 80, not that one, but this one's 80. Which means that this is 23, that one's not 23, and this one's 23. That's 37, come across over here, that's 37. 37. Now the last part. Some of you are not going to see this question tomorrow, some of you will. You don't have to write this question down, none of you do. But some of you who are going to see it, it would help to try to solve it already. Challenge question. Well, it's two parallelograms inside. One, the small one's inside, the big one's outside, and diagonals going all over the place. I know what you're thinking. It's a beautiful question, I know. I'm going to help you real quick. Look, here's a diagonal. It's 5, which means that that's 5. That's 5, and that's 5. Same thing for the 3, but I want to help you right here. Now I've noticed these are on opposite sides, so M plus P equals 180, and this has an arc, which means all of this is 125. This doesn't have a full arc, so add 125 and 37, subtract that from 180, and you get the little amps right here, which the little angle right here, this one right here, that's 18. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video.